Almost time. Hey, Alabama. Hey, Alabama fans. Welcome to Around the Herd, the October 21st edition of Around the Herd. Woo! Hey, Alabama. Roll Tide, roll. Welcome to Mizzou Week. Forget that. Welcome to feeling like Ole Miss, Penn State. You know, waiting for the other shoe to drop. Well, we're waiting on a pair of Shaq size 22s to drop. And when they drop, they may drop and pop somebody, whoever strategized this game last week. I hope they drop and hit them right in their stubborn head. They don't listen to me, y'all. All you got to do is listen. It's in the numbers or read the numbers, but more on that later. People, welcome to Tide Sports. This is an Alabama megacast. Welcome to the People's Crimson Tide broadcast, where we talk all things Alabama, football, basketball, heck, gymnastics, to make me forget about everything that happened on Saturday. And we talk about anything that can get in our way of getting to our next title. Tide fans, we are in this together. Block the noise. The outside voices can remain silent because we ain't got to hear them. You know what I'm saying? No outsiders can tell us how to do what we do. They have comments, they have suggestions. We can thank them for their times, but they've never done it. Crimson Tide Nation, you know how special you are to me. May God keep you all roll, Tide, roll. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and share this content with other fans. Thank you again for joining me today. Please keep the people impacted by the horrors of Hurricane Helene. Or was it Helena? I need to get that right back there in production. I told y'all. And Hurricane Milton, please donate to what you can. Just donate what you can to a charitable organization that you feel comfortable with. People are really in need. Some are wealthy, some are working, some are really poor. But please remember that hurricanes do not read maps in order to wreak havoc. So please help however, whenever you can. Right here on Tide Sports, we are dedicated and privileged to giving you all the pertinent, relevant, and impactful information on the greatest football dynasty ever do it. And it's still true. The Crimson Tide is the best to ever do it. Let the haters know the University of Alabama, Crimson Tide, is always in title run mode. Even if we get this 34 loss, we'll still be in title run mode come next year. Anyway, but you know, it ain't looking real good right now, is it? It's not looking real good. But I'm going to get to that. Gosh, man. Well, here we are, 5 in Tennessee. I cannot say that I didn't think we would have 2 losses. I just didn't know that they would come from Tennessee and Vandy. Yes, 5 in Tennessee. I mean the state of Tennessee. I easily thought we would hit 2 losses and still hit the playoffs. But the way we were playing is really hard to not see things getting worse, especially if, the coaches don't learn from mistakes of the past. And as the season continues, these decisions are getting more and more horrid. But before I get to that, let me move a couple of remote controls out of the way. My goodness, production staff sucks. Before I get to this, let's listen to let's just go through Kalen DeBoer's post-game comments about the Tennessee game.
Loss, we've had 2 now, and we just can't play team football, can't bring it together.
2. He wanted everybody to know there's 2 frustrating losses. It's good when your coach knows some basic math, but I'm not sure about the rest of it. Y'all keep him in your prayers.
One side of the ball has highlighted moments, and the other side, stumbles and some missed opportunities, and then you try to look inward and after every game, and we got to continue to do the same. I know we got a locker room that's hurting. Feel like it's there's always, I guess, a common feel in the locker room after a loss, but these guys, I have no doubt in my mind that they poured everything into the preparation. Just frustrated we can't get over the hump.
Can't get over the hump, bro. We lost to the state of Tennessee. 2 teams. I'm just thankful that we're not playing Middle Tennessee State and Murray State right now in UTC. I don't even know if that's ever happened in my lifetime. As I think about the history of Vandy, that probably would have had to happen like in early 80s, if possible, in the 70s, which I really don't remember that well because I was a little boy. But we've currently been unable to get over more than just a hump. I mean, that's more like a little mound. That's like Stone Mountain. We can't get over Stone Mountain. Well, at least we make it. But you can always, when you can't get over the hump. And my pastor was just talking about this Sunday. You know that song, I'm going up the rough side of the mountain? I don't know what saved Christian made that song, because who told you to go up the rough side of the mountain? There's a trail that goes around. There's a smoother side of the mountain. It's like I'm just going up the rough side of the mountain. That ain't biblically accurate nowhere, by the way. But this man talking about humps, and I'm seeing more than humps out there on the field. Let us continue.
Thanks, Coach. Start with John here on the right.
John?
Kalen, on that 4th and 22 call, what was the thought process behind that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things that can go, for you. I mean, it's either way, it's going to be a punt and you're going to get the ball back, if you stop them. And you're going to have a touchdown either way on our end. If we can just hold them to a field goal, you're going to have to get a stop on 3 straight plays, use your 3 timeouts. And so, it can go both ways, right? But you're more than likely, if you stop them, going to get the punt back and have to go the length of the field anyway. And so, you're getting yourself one more play. And, they did a good job checking in and out of something, It's a chance for us. I know what it looks like when you watch it, but there's a game plan reason, where we would do something where I understand where you're throwing it short to the sticks as well. So, hats off to them. They played it the way they needed to, adjusted, and I couldn't burn a timeout, when we're in that situation, because I knew we needed a 3 for the next play, or for the defensive sequence when we got to that.
Nick?
Well, the thing, I have no problem with this 4th down call. I mean, because in my opinion, based on how I look at things, the game was lost well before that, because they didn't do what I asked them to do. Just do what I'm telling you to do. I'm a simple man. I mean, I just understand basic math. That's all I can say. I'm check the chat real quick. Got water cooler coming in. He said, "Oh, missing Penn State." They're waiting for the shoe to drop. It be rolling right along. Franklin looked at it right now. He walking around campus. He on Mount Nittany, like looking up right now. Waiting for the other shoe to drop. Yeah. Thanks for chiming in there, water cooler. Here we go.
Yeah, penalties improved some in the second half.
Penalties.
What do you think is leading to some stumbles?
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything. Sorry. It's a little bit of everything, right? It's false starts, just getting off to a rough start there. And, then there's a couple more intermixed in there. There's some mental mistakes. It's the two games, right, earlier in the year and this one, you just can't get over the hump, and it's going to put you in situations where you got your backs to the wall, and we can't kill ourselves like that. There's times where you see like we're locked in, but we got to be better. We got to be better. There's no question. I mean, you can't win a football game when you have mistakes like we had out there and all the penalties.
Go ahead.
Now, He says penalties. Nobody asked you to list the penalties, man. We know they're mental mistakes. We want to know what you're gonna do about it. See, what we have here is a failure to communicate. Ain't nobody asking you to list the penalties. Most of us watch the games, and with it being Monday, most of us has watched the game more than once. We know what and now you go talking about that hump again. Talking about, you can't unalive yourselves. Yet here we are straight unaliving ourselves each and every game, one out of every 3 drives. You're setting yourselves back with penalties. I mean, we want to know what you're going to do about them. What are you going to do about penalties? I mean, that's what we want to talk about. It's like, this was immediately after the game. So maybe he wasn't clear on how many penalties there were and something else he's going to say. But I'm going through this because I watched this. Well, a lot of people don't watch it. It kind of it churns my butter. You know what I'm saying? Just stuff he says. I'm like, is he paying attention out there or just yelling at referees when he feel like it? I just don't get it.
What did you see out of Justice and Jam this evening?
Justice and Jam.
What led to the struggles there running the ball?
That's what it was supposed to be. Justice and Jam.
Yeah, they're physical defense up front, and we have to have a mix of run and pass and
mix.
Try to use J-Mill in the run game as well. But just trying to get a flow, trying to find times where you can get in a rhythm. The penalties hurt us, to where you're behind the sticks and, trying to stay patient. You're trying to, even at the end, not the last drive, but the second to last drive, try to stay with it and know that if you can just put one play on top of the other, you can move the ball down the field. But there's just that when you don't have the explosives, it's just too hard to stack plays a whole length of the field. You have to have some type of explosive play.
Go to left.
Here we go with the explosive plays again. I guess he figures throwing the 30-yard bomb, or he needs Russell Wilson to come do a moon ball like we did last night over the Jets. Go Steelers. Bro, explosives, you can have run explosives. Like I said, do you expect to go from first down to 20 yards, then down to another first down and just score? I mean, I don't know what you're expecting. What you're describing is football. Georgia showed us this. Or did you not analyze the game from multiple angles? And I mean, not just from offense, defense, Georgia's offense, Georgia's defense. Like, why did they come back on us? Did you not watch how whoever it was, Arkansas, somebody just beat Tennessee by running the ball? They showed they had no quarterback that was throwing the ball all over the place. Especially, watch that from the angle where, where Georgia almost beat us, man. I mean, it's hard. It's too hard to stack plays the entire length of the field. If you, as a coach, are going to be playing pop music and entertaining Roll Tide Willie at practice, what is going to be done to let them know, hey, guys, guess what? We're not going to listen to music. We're not going to have internet sensations at practice until, a bye week or something, because we got something hard to do. We got to learn how to stack plays that are short and grueling and that last for like 6 to 8 minutes of a drive. Because obviously this guy, now there's people on the team that know this guy and his minions on the offensive side of the ball, Nick Sheridan, Coach Sheridan, I just hate calling that guy Nick. They don't get it. They don't get it. It's part of me says, well, maybe this guy got to get his players in and do it. I'm like, unless I'm missing something, unless we just going to swap sides with, I can't even name a roster that he could swap sides with, swap recruits with, or swap players with, where what he's doing is going to work. And the reason swapping his players around is not going to work, and that will be 2 to 3 years from now in this league, is because it's all the same. Whoever wins this league is going to have a strong running game and a really dominant defense. I don't care if they're giving up 21 yards a game, they'll probably still be top 3 defense in the SEC. It just is what it is, bro. So based on all the blue chip metrics and stuff, Alabama has a very talented team. You're supposed to be able to win certain games pretty easily just by playing good defense and running the ball and mixing in a couple of plays. But, you know, you kind of be out of games, bro. You know, what you gonna do? We're gonna keep letting people wear zeros. We're gonna keep the pop music going, and the music is it's different. It's not even the same type of music. Won't you just take some away? Can we hit them with a 5% NIL? I don't know. You gotta do something. If you're not gonna make people backpedal, like I told you, all up and down the field or bear crawl down the road, you got to do something, man. Got to do something.
So, Alex?
This is a program that's not accustomed to losing a couple games at this point in the season.
He'll be
Players
losing.
who are not accustomed to it. What's your message to them
Last 20
coming
years.
out of something like this that frankly they're just not used to?
There's inward, that you gotta look inward first and make sure, that everything you're doing is right. And then, anyone that you sense that has any type of questioning, you got to make sure you bring them with. And the thing I know that with our guys, there's enough vets that know exactly what you're talking about to where it eats at them. And we got to continue to mesh the vets with the new guys, the ones that need to continue to understand what this program stands for and what it's all about. I don't question the fight. I mean, I don't question the prep. I don't question the work that was put in. These guys, came ready, and Tuesday's practice was great as far as the energy, and really felt like we were on track each and every day. But we just can't mesh right now the offense and defense together and play great team football. There's times when we got to be able to separate ourselves and have that killer instinct. And right now, we don't do that. And it's not like they're not trying. It's just the execution needs to be better. And, one play can kill an offensive drive, and then defense does a nice job and then they get into their tempo, which we knew, if we kept them out of that rhythm, we'd be all right. They got into it there the third quarter. And, it was tough to stop it. It starts with running the football for them.
Tony, go.
Message on losing he had here. I don't know what he just said. I need an interpreter for everybody that couldn't understand me that understands American Sign Language. Of course, I'm talking gibberish. We need an interpreter for this man and a motivational speaker. Last time I checked, all this stuff he's talking about, the message on, I don't know nothing about losing either. Whoa! I mean, can we get a walk on up here to talk to the team after losing to Tennessee, biggest game of the year? Anybody? Yeah. Come on, man. It starts with running the football for them. Anybody catch that? It starts with running the football for them. When you flip that, that's a clear picture of what it starts with the pass for Alabama. Hey, Crimson Tide Nation. I know what we're used to, but he is not on board with what has worked for coaches with multiple championships on various levels of football. He's not with it. He's not with it. He's like Sinatra. He's like, when it's all said and done and he's raising up his trophy, now he may be in ACC, AAC, it's all the same to me. He may be in CFL, but he want to be able to lift his trophy up and say, I did it my way, which is just kind of arrogant and very, very selfish. He just said it starts with the run for them. Wait a minute, Nico, he be finding out. Nico threw the ball 27 times. It starts with the run for them. Now, officially, one of the top teams in the SEC. It starts with the run for them. What top team in the SEC starts with the pass? I'm just listening to and saying what he's saying. It just sounds arrogant and selfish to me, Coach, but that's just me. Where we at?
Yeah, I know we talked to you about getting Brian
It
Williams
works.
the ball and the emphasis on that. I think he had something like 20 targets. Is there a worry that there was too much of a reliance or too much of trying to maybe force him the ball today?
Too much Ryan Williams.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think that some of them, there is an intentional element to making sure he's part of the game plan.
Yeah.
And then some of it was just, the progressions and where where it ended up. Unfortunately, we just had a couple misses, right? I mean, we hit one or two of those. The interception early in the game. We had a good little rhythm right there. I mean, some of those hurt, but you have to have confidence in your players to continue to go back and go make the next play. And we obviously have a lot of belief in every one of our players. He's a guy that can go make those plays anytime. So we got to continue to make sure he's a strong part of the game plan.
Strong part,
Last question here.
The question was about were we forcing the ball to Ryan Williams? He said, this were we forcing it? Well, someone sure as hay made sure he was working to the game plan. A team with 20 receivers and the freshman had 20 targets. Now, someone should be tracking this on the sideline because he just said we had a couple of misses. This man had 20 targets. Now, a couple to me is 2, 4, 4, 5 if you're not really paying attention. Ryan Williams caught 8 passes and was targeted a dozen more times. Now, no need to lie, bro. Man, is it just me, man? Coach DeBoer got that. Man, I'm about to dip, bro. His face says, man, I'm about to dip. Now, he may be going to the shower to cry, or he may be thinking about going back to Cali. Wah, 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 wah. And don't get me started. He may be thinking about going back to California, next job, or how much can he get out of here. This man, y'all just heard him. Either he ain't paying attention to what's going on, he ain't watched the game, they ain't talking about what they did in the first half. He just said we missed a couple of them. Was he just talking about, and then he don't even care about the ones under 10 yards or 15 yards. He's talking about the couple that we missed way down the field. Those are the explosives. I need those explosives. Ooh. You probably just keep X-Lax just under his tongue because he needs explosives and everything. This just don't make sense. Before I go to this last segment, let me just catch up on the chat. I know people roasting me today. PhDs in here. Sorry for coming in late. Oh, I see you're going. You're going to the subject media watching this post-game preface. Yeah, you watched it. DC said, "What's up?" And said he looking like he is looking the other way. Tight. Yeah, he looking the other way. He's gonna be looking. I was about to try to come up with not Safeway. What's his name? It's a moving truck that starts with the last words of our way. Hi, Nick and DC. Sorry, I missed the show yesterday. I missed the two fellows. I'm sorry. I was kind of dealing with a depression. Anyway, all good. We missed you. They exchanging pleasantries out here, which is great in the chat. What up, PhD? Nick, what did he say? What is it? Nick, why are you sitting at the front? Wow. No, I don't know what that means. He said he doesn't question the prep. He don't question the prep, much of the post, or the during, or the present. The man just said he missed a couple. Now, I had to go back and I said, well, that fade route, and I think I'm gonna get to that in a minute. I'm gonna get to that in a second. I had to look it up. Ryan Williams he's supposed to have a 42-inch vertical. I just looked at one site, one source, and I have never seen him jump. If he got a 42-inch vertical, that's great. But that man didn't even leave the ground. I don't know what happened on that play. It was an interception. PhD said, what hand signals are tight? You got my point. Flames sending me what flames? I don't see any flames. Let me know what flames you're talking about, DC. The whole thing is burning. Are y'all on my page? Or I guess these are my comments. 20 is a lot. And said, let's see. It is a lot. It's too many. I saw the video of what Legend said on Fireball Day and it was cracking up. I can only imagine. I don't even know if I can repeat that here. It says, can you put the link in? I'm not taking no comments from some albs tonight. This is about healing for the Crimson Tide Nation. Put your insults in the chat and I'll determine whether they should be expressed here. My people are hurting and he gonna kick us. How you gonna kick us when we down, man? That ain't right. Oh, you got your time coming on Wednesday. because I got a lot of kicking to do over there too. I haven't got a chance to watch y'all miserable display of what y'all call a football team over there. Here we go. Hold on for a second. I may throw it in there. See how much time we
We
got left.
struggled the last few games, but with a lot of football left to play,
Struggle.
what's the message to the fan base after this loss?
Well, I told the guys, and so the message to them is get back after it and get to work, and first of all do some soul searching, right, and look inward. And I know there's enough guys that still believe, that still want to go do what we want to do. There's a lot of season left for not just us, but everyone. And it's going to go fast if we don't take advantage of it. That urgency's got to be there. There's no question. And, we get a chance to get back home, but we got to go to work first before we play that game and find a way to take the next big jump. A lot of guys that we got to now incorporate into schemes offensively and defensively, just with some guys going down. So, they're getting an opportunity right now, too, to help build depth, but we got to make the plays to go win right now, and that's where we're just falling short. So, make sure our minds are right, make sure our heart's in the right place, and then all I know is that you just go back to work. That's the only thing you can do, and that's what we've always done, and that's what these guys, just having a talk in the locker room, really firmly believe that that's what they want to do too. And so, don't lose belief in these guys, because there's a lot of guys making some big sacrifices in ways that, you'll never know. People will never know because they just keep plugging away, and it might be physical things and stuff like that. But, they're working hard, and they have a lot of pride in who they are individually and who we are as Alabama.
Thank you, Coach.
Now, he said the question was about what do you tell the fans? And I think he missed it because it could be like some, lost in translation. At a certain point, you may want to tell the fans you're sorry, because trust me, there's some people in the Crimson Tide Nation. They're definitely searching. They're soul searching. They're searching for coordinators, coaches, moving companies, creek magic potions and elixirs to preserve the rest of the season or assist the Tide in fine-tuning the leadership of this team. Bro, a true Alabama fan never loses faith in the players as a whole. They will turn on one or two to get their head straight, but that's different. The fans that go after a player, they're a special bunch, especially, the majority of the people I read this week. Oh, Miro had a horrible game. I'll get to that a little later. But from fans to journalists and even players, it has to, even the players, you got to have the right folks steering the ship. And all we can say is that get right or get wrecked. Another loss, and your transition would have proved to be a total failure in my opinion. Because if you lose one before you play Mercer, you're definitely going to lose one after Mercer. So you got to get it right. And some fans were done with you after Vanderbilt. I'm just going to be honest with you. They only getting louder right now in the chat rooms across the country, on X or wherever. Let's see. Yeah, I'll go back to the link. I wasn't going to do the link, but they got an early two games, Monday Night Football games, so I wasn't going to try to stay on for a long time because it's already going to be a long night. Now, I'm going to quickly want to go through reviewing my keys to the game. My first key to the game for the defense was to manage the mighty Samson, which we failed at miserably. And I guess there must not be that many Bible readers on the team. The man had 26 rushes for 139 yards and 2 tutties. You hear me? The team altogether was 43 rushes for 217 yards, and they averaged 5 yards a play. Well, of course, we should know that, because where do they start at Tennessee? With the run, and of course, we do not. Secondly, I said the DBs must shed block. And I'm going to tell you, they did a great job there, because most of the runs came between the tackles, and we were doing a great job with that. And they did a good job having faith and establishing the run at Tennessee, because where did it hurt us? Second half. But my boy stood strong for that whole first doggone half. Said trap the squirrels. That was number 3. And they did a pretty good job as a unit. I'm sorry. holding them 21 points, which is half of their season average. Their defense, this defense forced 3 turnovers. They got them to missing 2 field goals. They had 3 sacks, and they did so enduring injuries of people that's already young. So we had to bring more people off the bench. Under those circumstances and through the penalties, we all had penalties. Considering the youth and the on the field and all that stuff, I gave the defense a B-. Now, the offense, because of what was called, they definitely got a D. They got a D. I'm gonna go. Let me see. What were my keys to the offense? First of all, they didn't do nothing I told them to do. They did one thing. I said, run the ball, run the clock, run the game. I said, run the ball, run the clock, run the game. Now, not just run the clock. Alabama won time of possession by 5 or 6 minutes, but not following this order. It left us nothing in the second half, but a pretty feisty defense who still had all their legs in the second half. And that cost us. In the number 2, I said we need 40 to 50 rushes a game in this game. 40 to 50 rushes. People say, I said 50. They was like, well, we won't get no 50 rushes. I said, we'll get 50 rushes because, Vanderbilt ran the ball 54 times on us. Why we can't run the ball, but of course, at Vandy, they start with the run. Tennessee starts with the run. At Alabama, we start with the pass, I guess. Y'all heard it. You heard what he said. So I said 45 to 50 rushes, and I want 70% of those to come from the running backs. 70% of our rushes to come from the running back. We were not there. We had 34 rushes for 89 yards, 1 touchdown. 35% of our rushes, a little high, came from Jalen, but that was because the plays were breaking down. He had to get out of there. Now, it's been reported and that he was walking for before the game, so I went on and found some video, and what he was doing before the game, he was walking like this. Anybody know about the 80s? He had what we call back in the day, he had a little pimp in his step. He was doing like this, but he was singing, and you would not know that he's injured. Or you weren't paying attention as a coach to know enough. Either Mr. Sheridan, DeBoer, or the whole plethora of other people did not notice that this man was gimpy. Now, they said that started after a hit he took in the South Carolina game where he ran the ball for, I think, 18 rushes. He's been running too much. All these quarterbacks around here that's running the ball a lot are limping. Everybody. I'm sure Lamar Jackson somewhere just got the shower and limping. Just run the ball a lot. And I looked at the video, and he was it was because y'all knows when he was falling back, the play would break down. He didn't just take off at all. This was an effort to be cool by him walking like that, but I don't know what we're going to do. Were you going to put Ty Simpson in the game? He was favoring his leg a little bit, But I wonder down the road or this week sometime is it Greg Sankey? Is that the SEC commissioner? Commissioner Sankey, I know he's going to get a call from Vegas. He said, hey, I heard you had an injured player the other day. Whenever you got an injured player, you got to give us a call. If there's a player injured, we have to know these things. These things, they're integral to our operation. And we did not know that he was hurt. But anyway, they better be careful with that because I even noticed today, they said that somebody had a lower leg area injury is what DeBoer said. And it was like, I don't know if they want you to describe it like that. They want you to be a little bit more forthwith with your information. But maybe people should have known and made other plans. Everyone can see that he was not taking the run. He was not just taking off. He took it, I said about the hard shot in South Carolina, like where he ran the ball 18 times, but I don't know, man. In the first or second quarter, couldn't you see the man didn't look right? Because everybody else online did. It was like, why he not taking off? Why he ran this way and he wasn't that fast when he did run? Or maybe you to make some adjustments. If you don't play Ty sometime, just to rest whatever leg you got, or just don't even tell him we see you limping. Put Ty in the game, let him hand it off, or hand it off even more. Maybe my 45 to 50 runs was too low. I know you got behind on the sticks, but sometimes it's better to do that and punt than to throw an interception. And You just had to notice. If you actually are a football coach, don't you have to notice when your player is injured? I thought they did. And this is just my note, and I'm not gonna say it, but to them backs, we lost Jam Miller. He was a little dinged up. And where was the third back? Where is Richard Young? There are another 5 backs on the team. Where are they? This is supposed to be the deepest room starting the season. And I got a feeling in 2025 is going to be one of the emptiest rooms if the running game does not become a key cog to this wheel again. To all the running back recruits, anyway, I ain't going to say it, but you're not just being smart if you think they don't already see what the Crimson Tide is putting down when it comes to running back. One more loss, and that number 1 ranking is going to crack. 2 more losses is going to crumble. That whole class is going to crumble. My third key for the offense was that, this really applied to the whole team, but you had to control the doggone penalties, man. You had to control the penalties. I mean, I said 2 could go to the offense and 5 maybe on defense because you may get somebody to get behind you. You got to pull them down or whatever. We ended up with 15 penalties for 115 yards. If I give a team the ball and to get them 115 yards in penalty, what is that? It's a touchdown. What did Alabama lose by? 7 points. Easy and simple math. And a bigger math problem that I did not like what I saw was this. The Alabama Crimson Tide defense under the dynamic direction of Kane Womack forced 3 turnovers in the first half. Even 2 interceptions by Mbakwe and Mal, the ostracized Moore. One that everybody tried to hate. The math I don't like on this is that Nick Sheridan didn't take advantage of opportunities and yielded a big fat goose egg when it came to scoring off of turnovers, including throwing the ball inside the 10-yard line. I mean, come on, bro. Just throwing the ball, man. I know he's a 17-year-old phenom, but he was being covered by another phenom. We don't have a monopoly on the phenom business. There's a lot of them around there. You see the interception, Nick? And I'm sorry, I gotta call you Slick. I cannot, in good conscience, call you Nick no more. It just hurts too much. But Slick, you got to put down the controller to the Nintendo, stop playing Tecmo Bowl, and study what works around here. Or you and your family going to be relocated by the end of basketball season. You don't want to watch March Madness up there in Michigan somewhere where they losing. I think and pray you are smart enough to figure it all out. Pound the ball, Slick. The Heisman and every other award race on the offensive side of the ball, from the center to the kicker, that's all over. The Tide has their back against the wall. It's back against the wall time. So let's get it done. Now let's get out of here and let's go watch some doggone football tonight. NFL football. And that's all I got for this week. Remember to check us out on Wednesday, where we got an episode of Iron Bowl Addicts, where Auburn fans going to pick at me for losing to Tennessee. And then I'm going to tell him, like, I'm going to pick a whole cavalcade of teams they lost to. But we have good discussions on there. We're going to talk about Kirby. Kirby got the juice now, Check me out next week here at 7:30 on Around the Herd. And with that, we'll see you next time here on Tight Sports. And always remember, I don't care what they say about us, but always remember, roll, Tide, roll.